Let's be honest, there's never been a better time to become a thought leader. With all of the tools out there at our disposal, either cheap or free, and with an almost unlimited audience, the possibilities are endless. The problem? Endless possibilities inevitably mean confusion. Where do you start? Lots of people who want to become a thought leader don't really have a strategy for it, so they prod at social media aimlessly for a bit, get no traction, get disheartened, and then give up. That ends today. We've built Exposure Ninja through thought leadership since we started the company back in 2013, and it's gone fairly well. Today we're a team of over 100 with multi-million turnover. In this video, we're going to share 4 steps to building your thought leadership strategy so it's actually a success. Ready? Cool. The first thing that you need to do is identify the topics that you want to be known for. Now, as with any marketing thing, we want to start from our target audience and work back. Okay, so Exposure Ninja, we're a digital marketing agency. What does our target audience want to know about? They want to know about how to generate more leads and sales through their website. So that is exactly our topic. That's what we talk about. Let's say that I was a wedding photographer. Now, I might get really passionate about photography and all the aspects of photography and lenses and lighting and all this type of stuff. What does my audience want to know about? They want to know about how to look great in photos or how to have a wedding photo album that they can be proud of for the rest of their lives. So that wedding photographer doesn't want to talk about lenses or any of the stuff that they might be really passionate about. They want to talk about the thing that is most interesting to their audience. So start from your audience and think about what are they most interested in learning, which you also have expertise in. Now, your topics may change over time. If we think about some of the best known thought leaders in the world today, people like Tim Ferriss, for example. Well, today Tim Ferriss is known for his podcast all about sort of maximizing human potential. But that's a really broad topic. That's not where he started. He started with the 4-Hour Work Week, which was a book about basically making money online through new tools and automation. So that's where he started. He was able to get traction because that tapped into something that people wanted, i.e. more money, working less, and then he was able to broaden his topic over time to other things like health, and then eventually this very generic topic of maximizing human potential. But that's not where he started. He started by addressing a particular need that that audience had and then expanding over time. Now, once you've got your topic, the next step is to write your manifesto. This sounds very grand and complicated, but it really doesn't need to be. This is about condensing your thoughts and beliefs in this area about the topic that you've chosen. So for example, when we were talking about digital marketing and when we were designing Exposure Ninja's thought leadership plan, our beliefs are that digital marketing is fundamentally, it's actually pretty simple. It's also really fun. Business growth is really exciting. And that we believe it should be plain English. We saw that there was a lot of jargon used to kind of muddy the waters. So our manifesto, really simple. Digital marketing is fun. Boil it down into its simplest parts and use plain English. That then means that we can take this approach to any of the thought leadership work that we do, whether it's writing a book or podcasts or YouTube videos. So your manifesto doesn't have to be anything grand. It can be as simple as a few bullet points in the Notes app on your phone, and that is exactly where our manifesto started too. The important thing is to get your thoughts down and start ordering them. What do you really believe in this space? Do you hold any beliefs which are contrary to the rest of the market? If there's something different about your perspective, that's a great thing to include in your manifesto. So once you've got your manifesto, it's now time to think about your communication style and choosing your communication strengths. Most people find that 1 or 2 of these different communication styles suit them. So for example, you might be great on video, you might be a confident presenter, you might have had feedback from people that you're very engaging in presentations, so video might suit you. Even then, you've got to think about, does short form video suit you? Are you best in an Instagram reel or a TikTok video where you can get an idea over very condensed in a very short space of time? That is a very particular skill set. Or if you're a bit more like me, you might be more of a rambler. You prefer to give more detail, in which case longer form video, either on YouTube or through webinars, might match your communication style better. You might also find that written is a strength of yours. So you might not be so confident on camera, but you might be much more confident when you can think through your thoughts and write them down in a nice, orderly way. And that's completely fine. Then you need to think about which length is going to suit you best. So are you going to suit short form? Like, do you write really great social posts, which are nice, snappy ideas, condensedly explained, which can, get some viral traction? Or are you better suited to long form posts, like longer descriptive blogs or interviews or guides? That's a really useful technique to have, and that can help get you some traction and get content ranked on Google. Or do you suit ultra long form, like books? If you can do that, then you can build these content assets, books, which can generate you lots of revenue, and there's lots of credibility associated with having books. So think through whether you're short form, long form, or ultra long. If your writing style is your preferred, style. Thirdly, your communication style might be speaking. So you might not like being on video, but you might be much more confident speaking, either audio only, like in a podcast or an audiobook, or on a stage in front of people. If so, that's absolutely cool too. So find out which one of these communication styles suits you best. You'll always get more traction with the style that matches your natural strengths, and you might find that over time you're able to expand these and add in others as you become more comfortable and as you start building your audience. The fourth thing that you want to do is you want to design your route to market. Now, if you're new, if you don't have much visibility or profile yet, then you're going to want to start practicing, testing how your message falls. So for example, you might start off by writing some posts on social media. You're going to test some different types of posts, test some different types of message, see what gets the most traction and what seems to resonate with your audience. You might also decide that you want to start testing by getting some podcast interviews and having people interview you about your topic. By the way, this is also a great way to nail down your beliefs and your story, because podcast interviews will ask you the things that they are most interested in. These are often also the things that your audience will be interested in. And by repeating your stories over and over again, you'll begin to kind of refine these into a well-trodden sales pattern, if you like. This is how you can build a really good story. You might also want to start testing with some written interviews in magazines or articles. Whatever communication style you choose, getting some stuff out there and testing it is a really good idea. Now, by the way, you're doing this because the first 10, 50, 100 are probably going to be rubbish. You're going to take some time to find your flow and find what works for you. So don't get too hung up at this stage. And by the way, you're not looking to go viral with any of these. Let's say that you start posting on social. You're not looking to get thousands and thousands of interactions to show that you've got some potential. What you're really looking for is impact. You might only get one view or one comment on your video, for example, but that comment might be, "Thanks so much, this was really useful." That's the sign that you want to say, right, you've found something that your audience really values. So you're looking for a depth of reaction rather than a breadth of reaction. You're not looking for millions and millions of eyeballs at this stage. You're just looking for those little signs that say, right, you're onto something here. This is going to mean something to people when it's scaled up. So once you feel like you've got your message sorted and you feel like you know your pattern, now it's time to build what we call thought leadership pillars. These thought leadership pillars are like evergreen pieces of content which you can then drive people to. So for example, in the early days of Exposure Ninja, in fact before Exposure Ninja ever existed, I wrote a book called How to Get to the Top of Google. This became a thought leadership pillar for our business, because once we'd written this book, we could then drive people to it. When I was being interviewed or when I was writing an article or anything, I could point people at the book, and it became a sort of its own entity which summarized our manifesto and our way of working. It then drove leads to our business. So that's one form of thought leadership pillar, the book. Tim Ferriss, 4-Hour Workweek. The book was his first thought leadership pillar as well. Another type of thought leadership pillar that you might create will be videos. So your YouTube channel or a webinar or a series of webinars. And again, this can be something that you can drive people to. We've done this at Exposure Ninja. Once we had the books, we then built the YouTube channel where we could drive people to, and they could come in here and they could understand how we think about marketing, and they could, I guess, feel our passion about digital, and then they could come to our business if they felt that this was right. Another thought leadership pillar that you might start is your podcast. So obviously this is audio only, but this can be something that you can drive people to and they can start binging. A great way to think about thought leadership pillar is what can you give people so they can start binging on your content? Anything like that they can really get sucked into and spend loads of time in. That's going to really increase the relationship that they have with you, or the relationship that they feel with you, which is a great first step to kind of monetizing that. Another type of thought leadership pillar might be your social channels, whether it is your LinkedIn page or your Instagram page or your TikTok page, whatever social platform that you feel most natural and where your audience is spending their time. This might be your thought leadership content pillar that you can drive everyone to. So once you've got all of these things, it's time to start building those thought leadership pillars. Now, once you have at least one of these, now it's time to start promoting. Build it and they will come. Absolute garbage. That's not the case at all. You need to think about how you're going to promote these. So first thing I would think about is who else has an audience which matches your target audience? How could you get in front of them? This might be collaborations on social media. This might be bringing people onto your podcast who already have an audience of your sort of crowd. Well, when you bring them onto your podcast, if they then promote that episode to their audience, you now get in front of their audience as well. Maybe this is collaborating through video. Might be another way of getting in front of someone's audience. Another way of promoting your pillars is to think about SEO. Now, I'm not just talking about SEO on Google, I'm talking about SEO on Amazon, for example. If you've got a book on Amazon or a series of books on Amazon, how do you optimize them to get your thought leadership pillar in front of the sort of people that might be a good fit for your business? You might optimize for YouTube. How do you make sure that your videos are ranking for people that are searching for this topic? What you're really doing with SEO is you're getting your thought leadership in front of people that have already expressed an interest in this topic. Now, you may even choose to pay to advertise your thought leadership pillars. For example, we sell a whole bunch of books on Amazon. We take all of that cash and dump it straight back into selling more books. We're not looking to monetize the books. We want to get our thought leadership out there because we know that when people read the books, they come to our business and that's where we make our money. So if you find that one of your thought leadership pillars is profitable for you, another example would be YouTube. Let's say that you build a successful YouTube channel. You might put all of that YouTube revenue back into advertising so that you can build your reach even more, so that you can expand your audience. That is a perfectly legitimate way of building your thought leadership reach. So there you have it, 4 steps to building your thought leadership strategy. I hope that's been useful. If you've got any questions at all, drop me a note in the comments. Also, let me know in the comments, what's your plan for thought leadership? What are the topics and how are you going to go to market with this? What are your thought leadership pillars that you're going to build? I love to read about them. Don't forget also, if you want some help with your digital marketing, then the team here at Exposure Ninja offer what we call a free website and marketing review. We call it that because it is free and it is a review. Boom, we're geniuses. All you need to do is go to exposureninja.com, fill in a bit of information about your business. We will then record a video showing you how to generate more leads and sales through your website. This service is completely free. So go to exposureninja.com, click the button to request your free review today. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing, drop us a like as well. It all helps this old YouTube algorithm. See you next time.